I was born with two hearts. So my wife stole one from my brother and left me to die on the table. I was born with two hearts. My brother Jason was born with a congenital heart defect that would kill him without a transplant. On the day my parents divorced in a Chicago courthouse, they made me choose who to live with. My father David owned a failing factory. My mother Tanya was unemployed. Both of them wanted Jason, the strong, smooth-talking one. I was the sickly kid, so they planned to dump me on whoever lost the argument. In my previous life, this was the moment they both pushed me away like garbage. I ended up with my mother. She quickly remarried a wealthy real estate developer named Larry Voss. I lived a comfortable life on the outside, but inside I was nothing but a spare organ. Years later, Jason's heart started failing again. My wife Lauren pressured me to donate my second heart. All he needs is one heart from you. How can you be so selfish? Without that heart, he's dead. You have two, you'll still survive. When I refused, she lied, strapped me to the operating table while I was unconscious, and let her mentor cut the heart out of my chest. I died alone on that table while Lauren rushed my heart into Jason's operating room. When I opened my eyes again, I was reborn, right back on the day of my parents' divorce. They were in the middle of the same fierce argument. My father was trying to dump me on my mother so he could keep Jason and enjoy the factory demolition payout in secret. My mother was furious and yanked Jason to her side, declaring she would raise him and I would go with my father. Jason suddenly spoke up. He said he wanted to go with Mom. I snapped my head toward him. In that instant I understood. I wasn't the only one reborn. Jason had come back too. My father froze. Jason shot him a look of pure disgust, then turned to my mother with a greasy smile and promised he would be filial to her from now on. My mother was secretly overjoyed. She quickly signed the papers and dragged Jason out the door. Jason looked back at me, made an exaggerated face, and mouthed the words, "Poor ghost." My father cursed me viciously, calling me a bringer of misfortune, then stormed out. I stood there alone and smiled. In the last life, you killed me with that same face, Jason. This life, I'm going to help you meet your fate. My father and I returned to our tiny one-bedroom apartment that reeked of stale beer. He pointed at the storage room that barely fit a single bed and told me to clean it myself. Then he grabbed his last bit of cash and left to gamble. I didn't clean the room. I picked up the newspaper and locked onto one small headline about a local tech startup on the brink of bankruptcy. I knew exactly who the CEO was, Lena Hart, and I knew the exact moment she would be alone and vulnerable later that evening. I went to the barbecue stall where I remembered she would be hiding from debt collectors. I didn't approach her directly. Instead, I used my father as the perfect accidental collision. He stumbled drunk and crashed straight into her, triggering her heart condition. I shoved him aside, pulled the fast-acting heart medicine from her bag, and saved her life. Lena looked at me through blurry vision and asked who I was. I slid her a piece of paper with my name and said, "No one sent me. But if you're willing to listen, I can help you save your company before it dies." She stared at me, then slowly nodded. That was the beginning. 5 years later, I stood on the top floor of Hart Tower, the company I now co-owned with Lena Hart. My father had gambled himself into the gutter. My mother and Jason had latched onto Larry Voss, only to discover too late that he was a controlling monster who destroyed them both. Jason showed up at my building one day, broken and desperate, begging for a job. My mother followed soon after, crying that Larry had left her with nothing. I let them wait in the lobby for 3 hours. Then I had security escort them out with a single message. You both chose the easy path. I chose the one that made me king. Enjoy the view from the bottom. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's calmly watching your reborn brother and greedy family destroy themselves, while you build the empire they never saw coming.